here's the video review for the brand new Renewal Kabuto from SHFiguarts. And while I don't usually spend too much time on the packaging, sometimes I'll show it off and pull it in. I really want to take a minute to really just show this off here, because it comes in like an actual box with some nice, shiny tampoed letters on the side, all the information on the back. But it's a really beautiful box. I can't remember what the name for this effect is with the picture on the cover, but it's kind of speckled. But it's just a really beautiful presentation, and I almost hope that they could do some of this going forward for all the Figuarts. I think this is special for the renewals, but just a really nice box, and I'd love to see this kind of packaging move forward with the entire line. Like, I'd love it if the Gaim Figuart came in this package, this type of packaging, because it's really nice. You've got the shiny logo on the bottom and then on the top as well. Yeah, so really nice. And you just slide it open. It does come with a couple of those little clear circle stickers on the side to hold it together. And inside there's a little pamphlet showing off some of the details. And then this SHFiguarts concept book, which looked like, when I first picked it up, I'm like, oh, neat, this is going to be really cool. And then you open it up, and it's and there is a little bit of text here to accompany. There's a picture of the figure, and then another picture of the figure with, again, a little bit more stuff down here. 1971 Masked Rider, and then and here's a picture of the figure art behind the kind of a basic humanoid clay sculpt here in front, and then a page that has a couple of very basic design sketches of the knees. And that's it. So when I saw the concept book, I thought there was going to be more substance to it. But it's just a quick little guide to Kabuto. And inside you got the plastic tray, a very striking white plastic tray with some little finger dents, so you can slide that right out. And underneath that, the tray with the accessories in it. And then it's just an empty box. And the trays are nice; they just pop out. And in the accessories, you've got his little dagger, his kunai, the blaster section, and then some extra fists or hands, I guess, which is nice. And they're all in this nice little thing. And then even this little tray clips apart, so you can have just 4 hands together at once. And there's room to clip more and more on if you just want to keep all your little accessories together. And then the figure itself in the top tray. Now, right off the bat, I noticed picking him up, he doesn't have the heft that the original does. And a lot of that is because he no longer has the die-cast feet. And I'll bring the original in to show it off. He doesn't have the die-cast feet down here. They're plastic. But that is really the only trade-off, is that heft. It doesn't feel quite as heavy and solid, but everything else about it is so much better. The hips are a little bit off just because they added the rounded hips, which gives them more posability but doesn't look quite as integrated as the old one. But everything else, like the proportions, are so much better. You can see the head has much better proportions to the body, whereas the original has a really shiny metallic red. This one has a slightly, it's shiny, but it's not quite as glossy burgundy color, which is way better than this one. I mean, like, it just matches the show a lot better. One of the other big things is on the original, this little piece could not flip, and on here they've made it so the little the Zector handle does flip back and forth. It doesn't close all the way down, so that's about as far down as it goes. So it does stick out, but it is movable. It's not a feature I necessarily needed on a figure of this size, but it's nice that they included it. Now moving ahead, again, he comes with his accessory, but like all the panels, like here the old panels on the old one were separate pieces attached on. Here they're molded in, but that allows them to look a lot more integrated and get a lot more detail in them. Like at the back especially, you can see here's the Renewal on this side. It's got the panel lining and the filled in black, whereas here that little area is molded, but it's not detailed at all. So yeah, overall, just he does have the detailing down under the belt, but the belt looks a lot nicer, is a lot more detailed. Like I said, all the proportions are better. The collar looks a lot nicer. I didn't realize, like, I was going to skip it. I was going to skip it because I already had this one, and I figured I don't need 2 of them. But then the pack, I saw it, and I'm like, well, I'll go ahead and order it. And I'm really glad I did, because I didn't realize how much I wanted a better SHF Kabuto, and I got one. So overall, it really is just a much nicer. The horn still does not fold down, but again, with no armor to go on him, I'm okay with that. I do hope we get an armored form at some point. One of the other updates on the fists is that when you swap them out, there actually is a flared end on this. You can see there's like a little notch there, and then a flared end on the tip. And that just helps it stay in a little better. As well as that's how you lock it into here. So you can store all the fists on this little container tray. So yeah, and the old one, if you pop off the old one, he doesn't even want to come. Yeah, see, it's just on a ball joint. And you can swap out the hands, but much more integrated system, which is nice. And you can open up his hands and give him some hands that will let him hold his weapons. So let me find the right side here. You just plug it in until it snaps. You can have him hold the kunai dagger. Or the pistol. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the full axe mode. You can't have him hold it like it were an axe, but it doesn't have the blade. And there is this, actually, this was probably not the best hand for this. There is a hand that has an actual kind of trigger finger going for it. It is on the other side. Here it is. Yes, his hand. This hand has the separate index finger. There we go. To hold the pistol. It's got all the posability you'd expect from a figure art. It's very nice. It's got the nice shoulders up and down all around. Ball jointed head. I think double jointed head. The hips. This panel even is on a slight pivot. I don't know if you can see that. The chest panel here pivots ever so slightly to allow him to hunch and crouch and stuff. And all in all, it's just a really nice improvement to the original. That's really all there is to it. If you have the original, I'd definitely consider picking this one up. If you haven't picked up a Kabuto yet, this is definitely one to get. The packaging is amazing. The figure itself is good. And because of the slightly less skinny proportions, I think he actually looks a little better with the extender. If you have the core extender, he doesn't look quite as... He's still a little too small to actually ride it comfortably. You can put him on it. I had him on it earlier. But I think just standing next to it, he looks a lot better and a lot more in proportion. Plus the red matches a lot better. You see this has that burgundy red, again, that matches this figure, whereas this one has this almost shiny, almost cherry red on him. So, but yeah, that was just a quick little look at the new Renewal version of the SHF Kabuto. Like I said, definitely worth picking up. The packaging, the presentation on this guy is really nice, and even though I didn't realize it at first, the better proportions when compared side by side with the original are just so much nicer. So there it is, the Masked Rider Kabuto Rider Form Renewal SHF.